Shields up, Ironbreakers. How's everybody doing this fine Tuesday afternoon, or whatever time of the day it happens to be where you are? We're back with some more Dragon's Dogma 2. Now, before we begin, however, I wanted to tackle a very specific issue that's been making the rounds within the community pretty much since the release of the game, because I think it is an important thing to tackle, particularly because I've seen several content creators put up videos that I fundamentally disagree with and that I feel are misrepresenting what the essence of the game is for a variety of reasons. So the topic today is going to be fast travel. Fast traveling in the world of Dragon's Dogma. Because I've seen a lot of people say that, like, oh, Capcom is monetizing fast travel, you know, because they made this game to be super inconvenient in the way that you travel throughout the game so that they can then sell you the solution. And this is an opinion that I've seen parroted by multiple people, and I understand the way that the YouTube algorithm works. This is something that is a very easy claim to make, so I understand why people are saying that. But it's just, a lot of the people haven't even played the game, and I'm not saying that you need to play the game or whatever, but you need to at the very least do a little bit of research to understand how things work in the game, to understand what is the design intent of the game, and to understand the things that you are speaking about. At least that's just my personal opinion on the topic. And then we're going to get into my personal experience with fast travel when it comes to Dragon's Dogma 2. So, let's start by tackling some of these things. So, part of this is motivated by videos that I've seen from other content creators, 100%. One of the more recent ones that I've seen was from Stephanie Sterling, and they also have a tweet over here that says, show me someone claiming to love their 20th backtrack through the same long path with the exact same enemy placement, and I'll show you a fucking liar. And it's like, considering the amount of people that have been calling me a liar since the release of Dragon's Dogma 2, I guess one more is not really going to make a difference, but hi, it's me. I'm the guy that enjoys backtracking and going back and forth in Dragon's Dogma 2 because I find that to be engaging. And I find it interesting that in their tweet, like the top reply says, immersing yourself in the world, running around it, and getting to know its roots instead of mindlessly teleporting everywhere is pretty fun, actually. Doubly so when the game is engaging in varied combat. And then he has the unpopular opinion meme that has been making the rounds. This one's been making the rounds since like the beginning of last year, I feel like. Not the beginning of last year, the end of last year. But, you know, it's neither here nor there. So first and foremost, let's talk about the port crystal problem. Because this is one of the reasons why a lot of people are claiming Capcom purposefully made this game, the traveling in this game, bad and boring so that they could sell you this, the port crystal. Fundamentally, it's important for people to understand what the port crystal is, and before we even get into it, let me make one thing perfectly clear. I do not agree with this item being sold as a microtransaction. I don't think this item should be sold as a microtransaction, and as a matter of fact, I've already mentioned in a previous video of mine that this item being sold as a microtransaction flies in the face of statements that the game director Itsuno has made before the game's release. So it literally doesn't make any sense that they are selling this item. Now, one of the important things to understand, you can buy one of this item. One. You can't just like, oh man, I'm gonna buy 10 port crystals, fill my map with the junk, I can teleport everywhere. No. That's not how this works. You get to buy one. They're limited to one purchase. And you can find these for free out in the world. But again, it doesn't justify its inclusion as a microtransaction. I want to make this perfectly clear because I know that people are going to watch this in the future and they're going to be like, oh man, Rurikhan defending microtransactions. We knew it all along. No, this is wrong. This should not be in the game. There's no justification for it, period. But if you want to criticize this item, you should be truthful about it, because I think the reality of what this item is enough to criticize it. You don't have to say Capcom's monetizing fast travel. This item is a marker that you place down, and then to teleport to it, you need to buy a fairy stone, which costs 10,000 gold in the game. Capcom also does not sell you fairy stones in the store, and they do not sell you gold in the store. So if they're monetizing fast travel, they're doing a pretty bad job at it. But that's just my opinion on it. As a matter of fact, the microtransactions have been doing a pretty bad job all around. But that is what the port crystal does. Now, the interesting thing about Stephanie Sterling talking about this is that I'm pretty sure that they are aware of what the port crystal does. So a lot of the things that they've stated in their most recent YouTube video is fundamentally just, you know, riling up the crowd. Because fuck them. It's like, that's what you're going to do. That's what you're going to do. It is what it is. That's none of my business. You do what you want. I just don't agree with it, but whatever. Anyways, my response to this was, honest question. Are developers allowed to make an open world game that is not about how efficient you are at completing menial tasks, where part of the adventure is actually going into the unknown without any quest markers, any fast travel? And I also felt the need to add this justification because I already know that people are going to misrepresent literally everything that I say about Dragon's Dogma as me defending microtransactions, because that's been what I've been dealing with for the last couple of days. So I'm kind of used to it, so I almost feel the need. I need to make sure that everybody understands this is not a defense. I'm just engaging this argument from the standpoint, what if the developers just really wanted to make this world inconvenient for the sake of immersion, for the sake of you actually paying attention to the world, and for the sake of not just being one fucking big Ubisoft map chock full of bullshit that nobody wants to do? What if that was the case? But you know, most people that are engaging the argument right now, I feel, are not really engaging it in good faith. So they're just like, no, they're making it inconvenient on purpose so that you have to buy the port crystal. I fundamentally disagree with that. I also had another interaction here. And by the way, don't go on Twitter and like message these people. I'm just showing you these as examples, so don't fuck around with that. But this person also said it's not about efficiency, but a case of design. There are several quests that require plenty of backtracking. If they could have designed it so that you don't traverse the same space over and over for a quest chain, it would have been better. Now, my opinion on this is that this is actually not to do with the way that the game is designed. The idea that the developers are going for when it comes to Dragon's Dogma 2, from my personal interpretation, is that you're going to pick up a bunch of quests, and only a few of them are going to be time sensitive. So if you have a time sensitive quest, yes, that quest you need to zero in, you need to go do it right now to avoid that quest, you know, going bad for you because you took too long addressing it. But most of the quests that I've picked up in the game are not time sensitive. So what happens is you go around and a quest sends you somewhere, and while you're going towards the path of that quest, you're having an adventure. Rather than looking at the map and looking for markers that tells you, oh, there's a powerful enemy to defeat over here, or there's a collectible to get over here, or there's a mission to do over here, which is what most open world games do nowadays. This game just wants you to go out and have fun. And if you just want to go and zero in on your quest, you can do that. But that is not the design intent. The design intent is that you get sidetracked along the way. Whether because you see a powerful enemy, whether because you see a random chest, whether because you see something else. And to me, that is the essence of Dragon's Dogma 2. And it has been a complete breath of fresh air. Because there's too many games nowadays that feel the need to hold you by the hand or by the nose or whatever the expression is and be like, okay, here we go. We're going on an adventure. It's like a theme park roller coaster ride. We have it all planned out for you, okay? You're going to go here, and here you're going to fight the Cyclops. And then after you defeat the Cyclops, he's going to fall over. And then you're going to go and you're going to fight the ogre. And then after you fight the ogre, you're going to find the target of your quest. And then, you know, you're going to click the map and you're going to teleport back to the city, pick up another quest, and then we're going to give you the markers where you're going to go fight a chimera. And it's not this game. It's just not this game. That's not what this is. And it bothers me because there's so many people out there right now that they're just like, people defending this game are stupid and they're paid shills and blah, 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 blah. And not a single person can conceive the potential outcome that for some of us This is exactly what we fucking want. We want a harsh, unforgiving world where you're actually immersed in it and you traveling the game has actual consequence. Of course, nobody's going to believe that. Everybody's going to believe that I'm just here to defend Capcom because that's what I do, despite the innumerous amount of videos that I have criticizing Capcom on this channel over several business practices or even game features that I don't agree with. But I'm here to defend them. Yes, that's me. Yeah, of course. Because I'm not the guy that multiple times when talking about Monster Hunter Rise has complained about the excessiveness of the convenient features in that game. No, that's not me. No. Now, there's not a proven backtrack there's not a proven record of me talking about how I feel there's too much convenience in modern Monster Hunter, and I wish there was more inconvenience like we had in some of the older titles. No, that doesn't happen. No. I'm just here to defend Dragon's Dogma because I'm a fanboy. No, I want inconvenient things. And let me tell you something else, right? So if you go to the map here, I needed to come to this city. And so what happened to me was, because I needed to come to this city and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to travel this whole thing. I'm going to take an ox cart because there is a fast travel functionality in the game. It's called the ox cart. And so I take the ox cart and the ox cart got attacked. I think, was it around here or was it around here? I don't know. It was somewhere around here. The ox cart got attacked. So the ox cart gets attacked, gets destroyed. So now I'm stranded. I'm on foot. This is something that can happen in the game, right? And so I'm like, well, while I'm here, I might as well go explore this section up here because I haven't really... Yeah, it was here, and I hadn't really explored this section yet, so it was like dark like you see here. And so I was like, well, rather than take the standard route to the town here, let's go up here just for exploration's sake. But the thing is, nobody thinks like that anymore. And it's so weird to me that if the game doesn't give you like a fucking quest marker or whatever, right? People don't think about exploring things that they just see in the world. They don't think about actually paying attention to what is in the world when there's a chest, when there's a statue, when there's a piece of text that you can go read, when there's like a million different things. If they're not marked on the minimap, it's like they don't fucking exist. And it's incredibly frustrating to see everybody try to represent this situation as in, nobody wants this. Literally nobody wants a world like this, except literally every single person that liked the original Dragon's Dogma, that's been singing the praises of the original Dragon's Dogma and how much we fucking like it when there's not all of this bullshit hand-holding present in video games. Except for us, but we don't count, apparently. No, it's not okay for developers to actually make a game that caters to us, that don't want to be led by the hand every step of the way with 50 million quest markers in the map or anything like that, right? No, nobody wants that. And let me tell you something, right? When I decided to do this, and everybody that was on the stream saw it, when I decided to do this, to come over here, we had a fantastic adventure. It was awesome. It was probably the highlight of the stream. It was some of the most fun we had. I'm not going to tell you what happens because I hope that people discover this stuff by themselves, but we came in here, we had an absolute blast. We had this adventure, and when we had this adventure, I want you to understand, this was not an adventure that is like, oh, here's a quest that's going to take you here so that you'll see this. We want to make sure that you get to see all of the rides in the theme park. No. It was organic because I was like, oh, this part in the map is dark. I'm going to go there and I'm going to see what is there. And I got there and I started engaging with the stuff that was there. And I was like, oh, this was cool. It's a little adventure that we had here. You don't need like a specific quest or an NPC to lead you by the hand or a fucking quest marker to enjoy the game. But for a lot of people, their brain has been so conditioned by the Ubisoft brain rot that they can't even fathom that this could be a fun experience. Going off the beaten path and enjoying your travels. And that's been what I've been doing with this game. There's a reason why we haven't even barely progressed the main story, because I keep finding cool shit that I want to keep doing organically. And I don't need a quest to guide me there, even though sometimes quests will organically guide you there as well. If that happens to be the case, fine. Like right now, I've been guided to this zone for the first time because I'm doing an escort mission for this guy. who's an important character in the game and all that, but I'm doing an escort mission for him, and because of that, I ended up over here, which is a place that I haven't been to yet, and we're gonna go fight that Cyclops that you see over there, because he's in the way of our quest. Well, he's technically not in the way of our quest, but he needs to die, because he's a Cyclops, and I like killing Cyclopses, right? But it's just frustrating to me that people don't understand that the game doesn't have to be for everyone. The game has to be for the people that like this type of experience, and I think it's perfectly fine if the developers want to make an experience that is more inconvenient. As a matter of fact, not only I think it's perfectly fine, I fucking prefer it. I prefer it. I like it like that. And it's cool that I finally have a game that caters to the things that I like, and all I hear is people complaining about, oh, I wish it would have had fast travel. Oh, I can't stand having to fucking walk. Don't play the game. It's not for you. I'm sorry. I know you like the combat, but it seems like you don't like literally anything else about it. That's not my fault. I like it the way that it is, and I don't want it getting changed. I don't. And it pisses me off. It just really pisses me off that people keep thinking that because something is not the way that they like, that it needs to change for them. It's like, no, I'm sorry, I don't agree. The game doesn't need to change for what you want it to be if it was the intention of the game to be like this to begin with. This is what the developers wanted for this game, and this is what I wanted for this game, and this is apparently what a lot of people wanted for this game. Why can't people ever be happy for something that, you know, we collectively as the Dragon's Dogma community, this is what we wanted. If you want to talk about stuff like, oh, the performance is terrible. Yes! Yes, it is! It's fucking atrocious, and it needs to get fixed. I agree. That we can agree on, and that we can talk about. Yes, please, fix the performance. It's a serious problem. That I agree, yes, definitely. The game should have a new game function. Yes, it should. It's really stupid that it doesn't, and it most definitely should. It's just one of those things. Yeah, there are problems with the game. The game is not perfect. But the fast travel thing, you're completely wrong. And this is just not the game for you, and I'm sorry. And this is the same thing as when people start talking about, for instance, the difficulty in Souls games and how Souls games need an easy mode. No! There's a million games that you can play with a fucking easy mode. Why does everything need an easy mode? And I'm gonna die because there's skeletons attacking me. God damn it. These people are the same. They're like, oh, Souls games need an easy mode. They need an easy mode. No, they fucking don't. Go play a Ubisoft game. Go play literally anything else. All the games in the world have an easy mode. Even the latest Team Ninja game, Rise of Ronin, has an easy mode. You can play that. But if there's, heaven forbid, that there's one game that doesn't cater to them, it's like, no. Fucking, oh my God, I can't believe this game doesn't cater to me. It doesn't have to. And the reality of the situation when it comes to like the difficulty stuff as well, I've talked about this at length. The reality of the situation is a majority of people, when they balance for multiple difficulty levels, what ends up happening is most difficulty levels end up being bad, as opposed to having one difficulty level that is good. So if they try balancing this game around having fast travel, what's going to happen is that the experience without fast travel is going to become worse because developers had to account for fast travel existing. So it's like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that this is not your dream game, but it is the dream game for a lot of us. And at some point, we have to stand up and be like, look, how about you respect our opinion for once? How about we're fucking tired of hearing about you complaining about things that we consider to be valuable features, such as some level of inconvenience in a video game. Jesus Christ. Heaven forbid you actually have to learn anything like how to navigate the world. Fuck.